The Wrong Friend is the right movie if you enjoy terrible dialogue.
What do your parents do?
Make money.
Intense staring. And watching this guy lower his sunglasses. And again, and again, and again.
Good! Get on with it!
The movie opens with a girl getting raped.
That's a good start.
Then cuts to a beautiful high school with the world's dumpiest principal's office, where a rich couple are enrolling their creepy son, who in the next scene spins out from behind a tree like a weirdo and drops this cliche line.
Was it something I said?
No, it was probably when you did this. He introduces himself.
Chris Andrews.
Riley.
It's Kim.
And invites them to a party.
It's my dress.
But good luck finding the place, considering the address has a fake city, a zip code that doesn't exist, and 2 different street names.
Huh. I have a pool, so bring your suits. Or not.
Ew!
At Chris's, which is clearly a house and not apartment 32, Riley has an argument with her shirtless boyfriend, Matt, before returning to the party, which is over the top ridiculous. But not as ridiculous as Chris standing up on this balcony. He decides to wear black underwear to the pool party just because, and pours multiple liquors into a plastic cup, which the movie must think is pretty scary considering the music that's playing on the soundtrack. He offers the drink to Riley.
I already have one, thank you.
You don't seem like the kind of girl who deserves to drink warm beer.
No, you deserve to drink warm liquor instead. 2 sips and 90 seconds later, Riley is so drunk that Chris has to help her walk. They go to his generic bedroom, which looks nothing like a teenage boy's room and more like the Airbnb that they rented for the movie, and he photographs her until she passes out. She wakes up in her bed the next morning, so hungover that she can't remember the night before, but somehow has perfect hair and makeup, and decides to put on these uncomfortable looking shoes just to walk 30 feet and take them off.
I guess that makes sense.
While she sunbathes by the pool, Chris sneaks up, does this with his face, and the scene ends. Like, what was the point of that even being in the movie? Was Chris just checking to see that Riley still existed?
Yes.
At school, Riley tries to make up with Matt, but he's not having it because someone sent him these photos of her cheating.
That's not good.
Riley has dinner with her mom, who is a nurse.
I am going to turn in because I have to get up really early for work tomorrow morning.
Riley also goes to bed, but randomly on the couch, as if the production crew didn't feel like bringing the film equipment all the way upstairs to her bedroom to shoot the scene.
No.
She hears a noise and is instantly scared. She spends the next 2.5 minutes extending the movie's running time by looking around the house, finding nothing, then ending up back on the couch where she started. We see a shadow upstairs, which could easily be her mom, so why is that suspenseful? Riley confronts Chris at school, who denies taking any photos of her at the party or sending them to Matt, but then emails her these photos of them kissing, holding each other, and him licking her arm.
Gross.
She then opens up a bedside drawer to show the audience that she has a gun.
That's called foreshadowing.
Riley visits Matt to say that someone who she believes is Chris emailed her more of those dirty photos last night.
I'm so humiliated.
Sure they were from him?
No, these selfies obviously taken by Chris were sent by somebody else.
What an idiot.
Riley and Matt trespass into Chris's house, who's busy drawing this, and demand that he leaves Riley alone. But Chris only laughs in their face.
Stop. It's not worth it.
What a jerk.
Then this happens.
What the the hell was that?
A police lieutenant shows up to the school to escort Matt downtown for questioning about beating up his classmate. At the police station, or aerial rotation of beautiful Manitowoc County Courthouse, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, on sunny winter day from adobestock.com, Matt denies beating up Chris, and the lieutenant shows everyone those photos of Riley from the pool party and says he obtained them from Chris, who wanted to prove that it was consensual.
He drugged me. He slipped something in my drink.
He didn't, unless this bottle of liquid was supposed to be a substance used to drug and take advantage of girls, even though it was kept in a crystal decanter out in the open on Chris's dad's bar amongst all the other liquors. And if so, why couldn't the movie have Chris drop in a substance from a pill bottle or vial to make it obvious that he was drugging her?
That would have been a good idea.
At home, Riley has a fight with her mom, who says those racy photos could ruin her entire future, even though she's fully clothed and not even doing anything that bad. How would this ruin her entire future?
God, you know, sometimes I really understand why Dad left.
Riley receives a FaceTime call in the middle of the night from someone right outside her house. The person flashes a house key that they somehow obtained and enters through a black front door, even though the doors to Riley's house are clearly brown.
Whoops.
Riley watches in real time as the intruder moves through the house, which for some reason has every single light on and doesn't do a damn thing to alert her mom or the police. She doesn't even protect herself with the gun that they made a point of showing us earlier in the movie. Instead, she waits until the intruder comes all the way upstairs and bangs on her bedroom door and then calls the police.
What's your emergency?
But here's the intruder leave, so she hangs up.
911, do you need any assistance?
Never mind.
What?
The next day, she meets up with Matt and Kim, who devises a plan to get close to Chris in order to find out why he's been targeting Riley.
Chris will never fall for it. He knows we're best friends.
So they stage a fight in front of Chris where they become ex-best friends. Chris comforts Kim by taking her back to his room and telling her that they're a lot alike, even though they haven't had one conversation in the entire movie. Kim says that Riley is always trying to get attention.
I think it's time someone taught our lesson.
Chris hears his car alarm going off outside and finds that someone has keyed it.
No!
Meanwhile, Kim takes a picture of this random notebook, not even knowing what it is. The cover of this yearbook and Chris's license, just in case she forgets his name. This leads to them meeting with a guy that used to know Chris at his previous school and says there were rumors that Chris raped another student.
Chris got off, I think.
No, but seriously, the girl made allegations towards Chris to police, but he was never charged thanks to his rich lawyer parents. Riley goes to visit the student who was assaulted by Chris, but learns that she killed herself last year.
She might have taken those pills, but he murdered her. He did.
Before leaving, the girl's mom gives Riley her daughter's case file.
I want you to have these.
Because she's known Riley for exactly 4 minutes and completely trusts her to bring Chris to justice, even though Riley never even mentioned why she was there in the first place, or that she even knows Chris. She literally just showed up and started asking questions about this woman's daughter. In a car, Kim tells Chris that she received an anonymous text message warning her to stay away from him, hoping he will spill information about that girl he assaulted. But I guess she didn't count on him actually asking to see the text, because when she doesn't have it, he gets pissed.
Give me the phone, Kim!
Get the hell off me!
You're just like your bitch friend, Kim. You better watch yourself.
So much for the plan of gaining his trust, which lasted like 2 scenes. Inside this stock footage coffee shop, which too could be yours for $79 on Shutterstock, Kim lets her coworker keep all of the money that they made from the tip jar.
You're the best. Hey, you ever need somebody to buy you liquor? You know who to come to.
Was she really that grateful? It's like maybe $3. While walking home from work, Kim is attacked by someone in a mask, but thankfully a bystander scares him away. Matt and Riley rush to the emergency room to see Kim, who we're told suffered a broken arm, cracked rib, and minor concussion.
What?
How the hell did she endure all of those injuries from this 10-second PG-rated mugging? It makes absolutely no sense. And speaking of shit that doesn't make any sense, why is there an eye chart in this emergency care room? Who's going to the ER for something like a broken arm and leaving with prescription glasses? It's as if the set designer had no fucking idea what to put in the background, which would also explain why there's a heart monitor running, even though Kim is hooked up to nothing. On their way out, Riley and Matt bump into their principal.
What are you doing here?
I heard one of my students got attacked, so I came to see how she's doing.
Who would you have heard that from at this hour? And why would you be going to check on them at midnight? Riley goes through the dead girl's case file and discovers that her very own mom was the nurse who conducted the sexual assault examination at the hospital and reported it to police. So the reason Chris has been harassing Riley is to get revenge because her mom did her job?
Duh.
Nothing even came of it. The dude wasn't even charged. So why go through the hassle of taking it out on this nurse and her daughter? We find out in the next scene when Chris sneaks into Riley's house once again and takes her mom hostage.
It was your mother who couldn't mind her own business, who contacted the police over nothing more than a misunderstanding, who got me thrown out of the best private school in the state and forced me to go to school with drunks like you.
Riley's mom conveniently pulls out a pair of bandage scissors from her pocket, which she would have no reason to bring home from the hospital other than needing a weapon right at this moment, and uses them to stab Chris.
Riley, run!
Riley comes back down the stairs with that gun she has no business having, and like an expert marksman, goes 5 for 5 into Chris's chest. Even though there are clearly 6 bullet holes.
But who's counting?
And I was totally expecting Riley's mom to ask her teenage daughter why and how she owns a handgun, but instead all she says is,
I thought I told you to run.
She never brings it up the rest of the scene, which means she already knows her daughter keeps a loaded gun in her bedroom or doesn't care.
That's fucked up.
But whatever, because Chris is dead now, and that's the end of the movie.
Who cares?